Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I am so very glad that you've decided to join me today. I've got a full yoga flow for you, focusing on strength and mobility. Now, if that sounds good to you, roll out your mat, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Stay firm. Sending that right foot back. We'll begin our practice today by finding a comfortable seated position. Take a moment to sit up nice and tall, to press down into the earth so we can lift strong through the spine. Go ahead and close your eyes, or let your vision soften. We'll take a little bit of time to let the rest of the world drift away. Come fully into this moment, into your body. And for the next little while, we'll allow our exhales to be a little longer, and our inhales to be a little deeper, fully filling the lungs with air, taking a few more sips of air at the top, and then fully letting that breath go before we start fresh with a new breath in. Now with our next in-breath, we'll draw our shoulders up and forward. And with our exhale, we'll draw those shoulders back and down. Inhale to move the shoulders forward and up. Exhale back and down. We'll continue this, moving with the breath. Good, and back to center. We can wiggle out a little bit. Now with our next in-breath, we'll move the shoulders back and up. Exhale forward and down. So the opposite of before. Inhale up and back. Exhale forward and down. Still moving with your own breath. At the end of our next exhale, we'll pull the shoulders straight up towards the ears. Exhale to squeeze them back and down. We'll do one more time. Inhale, draw the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, roll them back and press them down. Now with our next inhale, we'll reach the arms up overhead. You can open your eyes or you can continue to keep them closed. With our exhale, we'll twist over towards our left. Inhale through center, reach the arms up. Exhale to our right. Inhale up through center. Exhale to our left. Inhale through center. And one more time, exhale to our left. Inhale, we'll reach the arms back up. And then sweep them out to our sides as we bow from the chest. Sweep the arms out in front of the body and reach with the fingertips. We'll drop the chin towards the chest or the eyes down towards the floor. And then we'll take our time, dragging the hands in towards the body as we roll our way up the spine. And the chin will be the very last thing we lift in our roll. So bringing the spine towards straight before we lift the head back up. Again, lift the shoulders up and roll them back. We'll sweep our arms out towards the side again. This time, bring your left arm out in front of your body. We'll swoop our right arm underneath, connecting the elbows. We can bring backs of hands, or we can wrap the hands around to bring fronts of hands together, finding our eagle arms. Now, if you're feeling a little stuck and your hands are nowhere near each other, bring your hands to your shoulders instead, and we'll press the elbows forward. You get the same stretch in just an easier way on your body. Now we'll try and lift our elbows in line with our shoulders in whichever variation we're in. And then if you're not quite feeling anything in the upper back or shoulders yet, you can start to press your hands away from your body and press back through the spine, pulling the shoulder blades as far away from each other as we can. So our shoulders are wrapping around towards the front of our body. With our next in-breath, we'll extend our arms out nice and wide to our T again. Press the chest forward, wiggle out the hands. And then we'll bring our right hand out in front of the body, swoop the left underneath, bring elbows together, and then backs or fronts of hands. Again, we also have the option to bring the hands to the shoulders. We'll start to lift the elbows in line with the shoulders. And again, we have that option to start pressing the hands away from the body. Pressing back through the spine. And with our next in-breath, we'll extend the arms out nice and wide again. We'll bring our hands down beside the body, press into the floor. Start to make your way up to a standing position, up to our mountain pose. We'll bring the ankles under the knees, under the hips. We'll pick up the toes, spread them out nice and wide, and then press them into the earth. We'll lift the shoulders up to the ears, work them back and down the spine, rotate the palms forward, close the eyes. We'll press into the feet to help us lift and lengthen long through the top of the head. Taking a few more deep breaths here. Trying to stack the body so that we're reaching nice and tall. We've got a long line of energy from our feet through the top of the head. Now with our next in-breath, we'll sweep our arms up towards the sky. Exhale to a cactus pose. Pull the shoulder blades in together. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to our cactus. Inhale to reach up. One more time. Exhale to our cactus. Optional baby back bend with this one by pressing the chest forward, lifting the heart. We can keep our arms in our cactus. We can take them wide to a V, or we can steeple our fingers so we have all of our fingers interlocked except for our pointer, and we're reaching back through the pointer finger. With our inhale, we'll bring the chest forward. We'll sweep our arms out to the sides, and then we'll hinge from the waist and bow forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Press into the toes. Reach long with the top of the head. Flatten out the back. We're putting our fingertips lightly wherever they land. With our exhale, we'll hinge forward again. And we'll take a little bit of time here to wiggle and play. We can pedal out the legs. We can swivel or shimmy out the hips. We can grab for opposite elbows and find a sway to the upper body or a slight bounce. Finding some way to move and play around with this pose. With our next in-breath, we'll move to our halfway lift again. Engaging through the core, so we're drawing the abdomen in and up towards the rib cage. Exhale, we'll hinge forward. Drop the arms down. We'll let the top of the head hang towards the floor. I can nod the head yes or shake the head no. Help us release out the upper body. Soften the neck and the shoulders. And we'll start to tuck the pelvis under, adding a little more bend to the knees. And we'll continue that rolling motion, really taking our time as we slowly start to make our way back up towards our mountain pose again. Chin will be the very last thing that we lift. And we can roll the shoulders up and back or forward a few times. Wiggling out. Coming back to our mountain pose. With an in-breath, we'll send the arms up towards the sky. Exhale to our cactus, optional back bend. Inhale to reach. Exhale, we'll sweep the arms out as we bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands down. We'll step the feet back to our plank pose. Spread the fingertips out nice and wide. We'll press them into the earth. And then we'll shift a little further forward. Exhale, chaturanga to lower. Inhale to our cobra, press into the feet, press into the hips. Exhale to soften the chest slightly, tuck the toes under, press the hips up and back, down dog. We'll pedal out, we'll wiggle out, we'll sway the hips, whatever's feeling right. Take some time here. We'll add a little more bend to the knees. And then we'll press the hips back so that we're bringing the abdomen closer to the thighs. And then we'll straighten the legs again. Inhale to look towards the top of our mat as we start to shift forward into our plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga to an up dog or a cobra. And then up and back to our down dog. We'll send our left leg up towards the sky. Circle the ankle out in one direction and around in the other. Then we'll bend at the knee, draw knee to nose, rounding through the spine as we shift forward and step that left foot towards the top of our mat. We'll bring a full breath in and an even larger breath back out. Taking a moment here in our low lunge. Maybe softening the hips a little closer towards the floor. Or maybe even pressing the chest a little further forward, taking the eyes out in front of the mat. And now we'll press evenly through both feet. With an in-breath, we'll send the arms up for our crescent lunge. Pressing back through our right heel, big bend in our left knee. Chest is up and forward. With our exhale, we'll move our elbows out alongside our shoulders. Finding our cactus pose, spread the fingers out wide. Inhale to send the arms back up. Exhale to our cactus. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale to our cactus. Good. This time maybe finding a baby back bend here. We can keep the arms in our cactus. We can reach them out to a V, or we can steeple our fingers and reach back through the pointers. With our next in-breath, we'll bring the chest forward again. Release our arms out. We'll send them back up towards the sky. And then we'll open and pivot to our warrior two. So we're bringing the back foot perpendicular to the front. Bending into our left knee, we're rolling towards the pinky side edge of both feet to keep the hips open and the front knee out instead of curling in. Reaching the arms forward and back. We'll take a few deep breaths here. Now with our next exhale, we'll lengthen our left leg towards straight, send the hips back behind. Reach forward with the left hand before we move to our triangle pose. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. Let the left hand land where it is. And then we'll gently start to open up a little bit further across the front body. So we're pressing into our left hand, either on our leg or against our leg, wherever we're landing, to help us open up a little more. You can take the eyes down to the left hand or out to our side mat. Now with our exhale, we'll bring our hand, our right hand, our top hand, out towards the right side of our mat. And then bring it down towards the floor to help us bring the chest down towards our left leg. We'll add a bend into that left knee. Pivot so that our right toes are into the floor. Our right heel has lifted. We'll plant our right hand. Inhale our left arm up towards the sky for a gentle twist. Exhale, we'll circle that left hand down and around. Bring the chest back down to the floor. Inhale, reach the chest forward. Exhale to soften the hips a little more. Now pressing into the hands, we'll lift our left leg up to the chest. Send it up and back behind, three-legged dog. To our down dog. Wiggle out through the legs, pedal out through the hips, reset. And then we'll send our right leg up and back. Circle the right ankle in one direction and around in the other. We'll bend at the knee, draw knee to nose as we round and roll forward. Step the right foot through. Full breath in. And an even larger breath back out. We'll start to soften the hips and send the chest forward, taking a little time here in our low lunge. Now we'll press evenly through both feet, and with our next in-breath, we'll lift the upper body, send the arms up towards the sky. We're sending our back heel back and down towards the earth, bending into our right knee. And the hips are up towards the top of our mat, with our hands up towards the sky. Now with our next exhale, we'll move to cactus our arms. Pull the shoulder blades in together. Inhale to reach them up. Exhale to our cactus. Inhale to reach up. One more time, exhale to our cactus, and we can start to find a baby back bend. Either with our arms at our cactus, arms at a V, or we can steeple the fingers and reach back through our pointers. With our inhale, we'll bring the chest forward and the arms up. And let them come down. Wiggle out slightly. And we'll sweep our arms up again. Exhale, we'll pivot open towards our left side for a warrior two. Still have a big bend in our front knee. Our back foot is out towards our side mat. Reaching forward and back. Starting to tilt the pelvis under. And we'll hold here for a few breaths. Now we'll lengthen out through our right leg, send the hips back so we can reach the right hand forward. We'll hinge and move to our triangle pose. Pressing our right hand wherever it has landed to help us open the chest a little bit further, twisting us towards the left side of our mat. We can have our eyes down or straight out to our side. With our next exhale, we'll circle that left hand out towards our left side as we put a bend into the right knee, plant the left hand, pivot on the left toes, and we'll send our right hand up towards the sky for a gentle twist. Exhale, we'll circle that right hand down and around, frame out the front foot. We'll take a few deep breaths here, softening the hips a little lower, reaching the chest forward between the arms. And then we'll plant the hands down, pick up the right leg, lift it up to the chest. And then we'll send it up and back behind, three-legged dog, to our down dog. Shift forward. Chaturanga to an up dog or to our cobra. And we'll send the hips up and back to our down dog again. Now we'll drop our knees down to the mat. Bring our arms underneath of our shoulders. With our in-breath, we'll shine the chest forward, lifting the hips towards the sky and lowering the abdomen. With our exhale, we'll curl in towards center and arch up through the spine, chin to chest and tailbone under. We'll move back and forth with our cat-cows, moving with our breath. Start to add any other movements here. Maybe curling the hips, pressing back through the spine towards more of a child's pose. And then softening the hips forward for more of a cobra. Or rolling around the chest in big circles out to the sides. Or any other movement here that's feeling good. And we'll walk the hands just a little bit further out in front of the shoulders. We'll tuck the toes under, press back up to our plank pose. Shift a little further forward, chaturanga to our up dog or our cobra. And then we'll send the hips up and back again for our down dog. Now we'll reach our left leg up to the sky. And we'll bring knee to nose, pausing. We'll thread our left foot over towards the right side and squeeze the thighs together. As we drop our right heel down towards our left, we'll lift our right hand up, finding a variation to our side plank. Now we'll press the hips back towards our heels, towards the back of our mat. We can connect elbow and knee. Inhale to press forward back to our side plank. We'll circle the right hand down and around. Pivot onto our toes again. Unthread our left. Reach the left foot up. And then we'll step it through to the top of our mat. Full breath in. Even larger breath back out. Inhale to lift the chest, to lift the arms, crescent lunge. Press back through the right heel. Exhale to our cactus, baby back bend. Inhale to lengthen the arms up. Exhale, we'll pivot to our warrior two. We'll take a few deep breaths here, rolling to the pinky side edge of our feet, tucking the hips under, reaching forward and back. Now we'll do a little bit of tug of war here, reaching our left hand as far out towards the top of our mat as we can. And then, like we're pulling a rope, we'll come back through center and reach our right hand as far to the back of our mat as we can. Inhale to shift forward. Reach to the top of the mat. Exhale, come through center. Reach to the back. Moving forward and back a few more times, either with your breath or at a pace that feels right. Still pressing into our left knee. And then the next time that we have reached up towards the top of our mat, we'll connect our left elbow with our left knee. And we can send our right arm straight up towards the sky, or we can reach it off the top of our mat. Now this is a great place to land, a great place to stay, or we can extend our left arm and drop our fingertips down to the mat instead. Or we can really reach forward, soften as low as we can to bring our left hand through our leg, circle it around, and connect our hands behind the back, finding a bind. Whichever option you pick is a wonderful option here in our side angle. Now, if we're in a bind, we'll start to unbind ourselves. With our inhale, we'll float back up to our warrior two. And then with our right hand, we'll sweep it down towards the floor. Plant it alongside our left foot, pivot on the right toes, and send the left arm up for a gentle twist. Exhale, we'll circle that left hand down and around to frame out the front foot. Take a moment to soften the hips. And then we'll bring our left knee up to the chest. Send the left leg up and back, three-legged dog, to our down dog. Wiggle out, pedal out, reset. We'll shift forward, chaturanga to an up dog or a cobra. And then back to our down dog. We'll reach our right leg up and back. Now bring knee towards nose, pause here. We'll reach our right toes over towards our left so that we can squeeze the thighs together. Drop our left heel down towards the right side of our mat. Press into the right hand, send the left up for a variation to our side plank. We'll press back towards our heels. We can connect our left elbow to our left knee. And then reach forward again. Side plank. Exhale to bring our left hand down. Pivot onto the toes. We'll unthread the right, reach the right leg up. And then we'll thread it through and step the right foot to the top of our mat. Full breath in. And an even larger breath back out. Take a moment to soften the hips, to press the chest forward. Now press into both feet. Inhale to send the arms up. Exhale to our cactus. Baby back bend. Press back through the left heel. Inhale to send the arms up. And we'll pivot open to our warrior two. Pressing to the outer edge of our pinky toes. Take a few deep breaths. Tuck the hips under. And we'll do our tug of war on this side. Reaching the right arm as far forward as we can. Lifting through center and reaching our left hand as far back as we can. Forward and back a few more times. And then the next time that we have reached all the way forward that we can, we'll connect our right elbow and right knee and reach our left arm up towards the sky. Now again, we have a couple other options from here. We can drop our right hand down to the floor, or we can find that bind by reaching forward, softening as low as we can, thread the right arm through the leg. Bring the left around to connect and interlock the fingers behind the body. Reaching the chest open and up towards the sky. Whichever option we find is a wonderful option. And we'll continue to take a few deep breaths here. Pressing into our feet. Pulling energy up through the floor. If we are in a bind, we can start to unbind ourselves. With our next in-breath, we'll float back up to our warrior two. And then our left hand will sweep down towards the floor as we pivot onto our toes. Plant the left beside the right foot and reach the right arm up. Gentle twist. Exhale to bring the right hand down and around. Frame out the right foot. Soften the hips, reach the chest forward. And then we'll pull the right leg up. Hold it to the chest. And then send it up and back, three-legged dog, to our down dog. We'll do one more round of our vinyasa, shifting forward. Exhale, chaturanga to lower. Inhale to our up dog or our cobra. And then up and back to our down dog. We'll walk the feet a little bit closer towards the hands. Bending deep into the legs. Press the hips up and back. And then straighten the legs out again. We'll drop the knees down to the mat. Untuck the toes. And we'll roll and round back through the spine, finding a child's pose. With an in-breath, we'll start to lift the upper body. Walk the hands in towards the legs. We can sit on the heels. Reaching up tall through the top of the head. And then we'll start to tuck our toes under. We'll try and get all of our toes, even our pinky toes, tucked and curled under if possible. And then we'll sit on our heels. You'll start to feel a big stretch up the bottoms of the feet, up their plantar fascia. We'll extend our arms out wide to a T. Now we'll circle the hands around. Bring them to our backs. We'll crawl them around a little bit further. And then we'll round and roll through the spine, giving us a nice big hug, press back through the mid-back. With an in-breath, we'll start to lift back up. Unentwine the arms, reach them out wide. And we'll take the other arm on top this time. You'll know it's the other arm because it'll feel awkward or weird. Walk the hands around the back. Round and roll through the spine. Inhale to sit back up. Reach the arms out wide again. We'll drop the hands down in front of the body. Untuck the toes. Give them a little wiggling out. And then we'll make our way to a seated position again. Scooting towards the middle of our mat. And we'll sit up tall in the spine with our legs crossed. Or however is most comfortable in your body. Drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. And with an inhale, we'll send the arms back up towards the sky. Exhale, twist towards the left side. Drop the left hand behind the body. And we'll look over our left shoulder. With our next inhale, we'll circle the chest back around, send the arms to the sky. Another exhale, we'll turn towards our right. Reach the right hand behind the body, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, we'll turn the chest to the top of our mat. Again, reach the arms up. And then we'll shift back slightly so we can extend our legs fully out and drop them down. Reach tall through the hands. We'll press the chest forward. And then we'll engage up the legs by gently reaching the toes up towards the sky. We'll stay here for a few breaths, pressing the chest forward, reaching up through the arms. Stop licking me. And at the end of each exhale, we'll recheck that posture. And we'll sit up just a little bit taller. With an exhale, we'll bring the hands down. And we'll allow the body to soften. Take a moment to wiggle out, to reset. And with an in-breath, we'll sweep our arms up overhead. We'll start to hinge at the waist and move to our forward fold. We'll take some time here, still focusing on our breath. With our in-breath, we can maybe lengthen longer through the top of the head, lifting up out of the pose slightly. So that as we exhale, we can soften into that space that our breath was. Inhale to find some length. Exhale to find some softness. You can always add as much bend to the knees as you need. We're focusing on softening our chest closer towards our knees, closer towards our thighs. We can let the head go soft. With our in-breath, we'll start to sit back up nice and tall. And we'll walk the bottoms of the feet in towards the body. Now starting to shift back slightly so we can find some engagement through our front body, drawing our core in and up towards our spine, towards our rib cage. We can lift our feet off the mat, either using our big toes for our kickstands, or bringing our shins parallel to the floor, or extending the legs fully out nice and long, finding a variation that works for you today. Keep in mind we're moving to our Savasana, the relaxation portion of our practice after this. Breathing through any wigglies, any shakies of the body. And we'll start to slowly lower as we lengthen. And bring ourselves down onto the mat for a full body stretch. Reach the arms up overhead, point and reach the toes off the top of our mat. We'll take a few deep breaths here. Allowing the body to soften into the mat, into the floor beneath you. And we can start to circle the arms down and around towards the body. And again, walk the bottoms of the feet in. Curling the hips forward so that we plant our low back down to the earth. And then we can heel toe our feet out wider and find some windshield wipering of the knees, side to side. When you're feeling ready, you can lift the knees back up towards the sky and move to your Savasana. Move to a comfortable place in your body to take a moment of rest. Again, let the world around us drift away for a little while. Fully coming back into our body. We'll do whatever we need to do to get just a little bit more comfortable here in this posture. Maybe that means softening the muscles around the eyes, around the nose, around the mouth. Relaxing the lower jaw, adding a little more space between our upper and lower teeth. Allowing our eyes to hang heavy into their sockets. Letting the shoulders droop to the floor. Letting the hips be heavy and to start to fall away from each other. Letting the feet fall away from each other. And the body to be cradled by the mat below you. We'll start to let our body be soft. And thoughts of the body to drift away. As we bring our awareness to our breath. Breathing in through the nose. Noticing that maybe the breath is a little cold as it enters the nose. Maybe it tickles a little bit when you actually think about it. Feeling the lift of your chest and your abdomen. And then the breath as it leaves. How the body softens and grows still. How the breath is a little warmer. Maybe now it tickles your upper lip. Fully letting go of that breath before you start fresh with a new breath in. Repeating this process, each time letting go of the current breath, taking a moment to pause in that stillness before starting fresh again with a new breath in. Another breath in through the nose. And let it go as an open mouth sigh. Another big breath in through the nose. And again, an open mouth sigh. We'll invite some movement back into the body. You can start to wiggle the fingers. You can wiggle the toes. You can even move the neck side to side. And then when you are feeling ready, you can roll onto one side or the other. And we'll take our moment of gratitude here. Thank yourself for coming to your mat today, for taking this time out of your day to refocus your energy, to move your body, and to still your mind, to breathe deeply, and to show yourself some love. You can give yourself a nice big mental or physical hug. And then again, when you are feeling ready, you can make your way up to a seated position. And we'll either place our hands on our knees, palms up towards the sky, or we can bring hands to heart center. But we'll close the eyes and take another large breath in through the nose and let it go as a collective sigh. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy. Thank you.